We have a special guest with us in the studio this morning, Congressman Nathaniel Moran from Texas District 1. Congressman, thanks for being here with us.
Jeff, it's great to be here in Shreveport with you today. Wonderful to connect with northwestern Louisiana. You know, the folks in East Texas are exactly like the folks in northwest Louisiana, and so it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, much of our signal, your district is in much of the KTBS signal. So
yeah, we were talking about that. 17 counties are representing Northeast Texas, but more than half of those come out of Shreveport television media.
So tell us why you're in Shreveport.
Today's a really important day for us because we brought over some chambers from Marshall, from Carthage, from Jefferson, from Longview to meet with the Shreveport Chamber, and then to do some site visits to the Cyber Innovation Institution, and then also to talk to SWEPCO about some of the very important partnerships that are going on between Louisiana and Texas. We want to build those partnerships, and we want to work together to move us forward.
I mean, geographically, it makes perfect sense, right?
It makes perfect sense. The state line should not deter us from working with one another, and I think it's really important for us to be over here.
Well, look, there's an election coming up, obviously. You might have heard. What are your thoughts on this election as it heads down the stretch?
It's going to depend on voter turnout. That's what it's about. We've delivered the messages, and hopefully across the country, we see a sweeping change, frankly, that I'd like to see for our election next Tuesday to make sure that we get a trifecta in the House. I think that we need a strong president, a strong resounding voice in the White House, and that means we need to change. And I think we're going to see a trifecta next week. Definitely the Senate. We want to hold on to the House. We're going to be working this week. I'll be in Ohio, Pennsylvania, probably New York and Iowa to campaign for some of my colleagues to make sure that we keep the House, but we need to change the direction of where we're at.
Oh, you're campaigning for other folks in other states, and I'm like, are you running? Because I didn't remember you doing any campaigning, and you haven't been, and there's a reason. Tell us why.
Yeah, you know, I'm one of the few that are unopposed this year, and that's a blessing. But we continue to work hard in East Texas, but we also want to work hard for the team to make sure that we keep the majority in the House, that we win the majority in the Senate, and that we change the direction of the executive branch.
What are some of the things that, I'm going to pivot back to your visit here, what are some of the things that you see that would be logical fits for good partnerships for East Texas and Shreveport area?
Most folks know that there's a lot of healthcare here that actually comes also with partnerships in East Texas. I live in Tyler. It's a healthcare center for rural East Texas, but the same goes for Shreveport, Bossier area. Yep. Our economies are bound together because many live and work in both states, and they cross state lines every day. Yesterday I was in Caddo Lake, and we share Caddo Lake. We also share many other natural resources, and so when we talk about agriculture, natural resources, oil and gas and energy, healthcare, when we talk about any of those topics, they do not stop at the state line. In fact, we need to coordinate together to make sure that the policies of the next 4 years really are beneficial to both Northwest Louisiana and East Texas.
Now, you just completely off that topic. You just took a hero's flight, right? Or you were on a hero's flight?
Yeah, I just welcomed a group of veterans to Washington, D.C. this last week. Even though we're out of D.C., we brought up 25 veterans, one of which was a World War II veteran, 99 years old, a lot of Vietnam and Korean veterans through the Brookshire Grocery Company, who also has offices and locations in both Shreveport and across Louisiana and Texas. They're headquartered in Tyler, and as a result, we met them up there, gave them a special tour of the Library of Congress, pulled out some special documents just for them, then took them on a tour of the Capitol, made them feel special and welcome, and said, thank you for preserving this republic so that we can perpetuate this republic and to continue to fight for freedoms there in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely. What are some of the projects that you have going on in your district? Money that you've appropriated, or things that, road projects? We could use some good road projects here in Louisiana.
I think we could use good road projects everywhere. But again, back to this idea of partnerships, one of the top projects for us has been the Texarkana Airport, to try to get some money to expand the runway there, provide some additional economic opportunity. That's a regional impact that's not just in the 1st District of Texas that I represent, but it's also in Arkansas and Louisiana. It has a regional impact. We're doing the same with rural water possibilities in Northeast Texas, also law enforcement grants. We're looking to try to support our law enforcement every way that we can. But again, it's not just an approach for we're going to look inside the boundaries of our congressional district. We're looking outside those boundaries. How can we help Arkansas and Louisiana and Texas all together. We are in this together, Jeff, and we need to work together.
That's a good viewpoint to have, or a good outlook to have, I should say. Congressman Moran, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, Congressman Nathaniel Moran from Texas District 1, running unopposed and out there campaigning for people across the country.